Officially a scuba diver, am I? Okay, all right. So I've now conquered the heights of the mountains and the depths of the water, and it's like, I suppose, the transverse of parachuting in the sense of the weightlessness, but you're not free falling. You're suspended in consistent animation, and you the sheer splendour of obviously the bubbles and the currents of the water and the occasional snotty jellyfish. It's all pretty cool.
I mean, to me, if you were a businessman working 60 hours a week, I'd be out there every weekend, because that would just be the flip side of life for you, and just totally relax. Just give it a go. If you don't like it, come talk to me and I'll... Because if you don't like it, honestly, hey, I was going to say you'd have to be blind, but Gerrard, he was loving it. Him and Harry, I could see the smiles on their faces, and then he went past us a couple of times, and like him talking about the flow of the water and the sounds and things like that. It doesn't mean you don't even have to be able to see. You'll probably be deaf and see the beauty, and Gerrard's blind and he can hear the beauty and feel the beauty. It's just, it's amazing. And if you don't like it, no, there's something wrong with you. I'd never really thought about it, and now I think probably every time I go for a swim, I'll think, well, if we were in 10 metres of water, what's 5 metres down today, you know? And it was at no point was I frightened of anything. It was just like, it was overwhelming, if anything.
Wonder Reef is 2 nautical miles offshore. It's a large artificial structure with 9 of these structures in total. The top of each structure sits at about 10 meters, and then they go all the way down to the seafloor at 30 meters. The best thing about it is that it's a buoyant reef, so it's the world's only buoyant artificial reef. So they're filled with air and they're floating mid-water like giant balloons, and they've attracted such a large amount of sea life in the time they've been there. It's amazing for them to see how much life can come to these artificial structures, and to be able to share that with them is just awesome. For them to see all of the different marine life that's come to it has been an absolute treat.
I just love being underwater. I find it very calming. It takes a little while to get used to the breathing, but just kept reminding myself to breathe slowly and deeply and stay calm, and I loved it. It's just a very peaceful feeling being that far underwater. Yeah, having been so close up to it, it feels like the sea life don't even notice you're there. They just kind of all floating around you, and you feel like you're more part of it. Yeah, I think as a swimmer, when you're kind of on the surface, you don't see that much life, so being under the water gives you a good appreciation of just how much life is under there, lurking around underneath you, and the way the sea life just doesn't seem bothered by us being there. It feels like you're really part of it. Underwater sea life, it's a pretty incredible experience. Yeah, I think I've got the diving bug now.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was a whole different perspective on diving. I mean, a lot of the time when we dive, we are thinking about what we're trying to see underwater and the whole experience and the visibility, but it was really just about enjoying the feeling of being underwater, and it was a really interesting perspective to have on it from my perspective. It was really cool. I mean, I was extremely impressed by how well he did. As soon as we got him in the water, there was no troubles with equalising or anything. He had full concept of how deep he was in the water. He was controlling his depth properly in the water. I'm assuming it was just from the pressure, and he was just so comfortable. And I guess he had a lot of trust in me to look after him in the water, which I was impressed with, but he seemed extremely comfortable. Because as you're going deeper, right, to say the theory of equalization, you're feeling that pressure change within your head and the air spaces in your head. And he seemed to be able to use that as a concept of how deep he was in the water, because he was swimming next to me and still controlling where he was in relation to me, moving up and down. And yeah, I'm guessing just the pressure change.
Obviously, the first one is the change in pressure, and that's where you can feel the water sort of mold around you. It's almost like when you go to the doctors and you get your blood pressure taken, and they pump up, and you sort of, the pressure becomes tighter around your actual forearm or your bicep, and that's a sort of that slow sort of increase in pressure. It feels like, to me, the tranquility increases in size because less sound can escape, so it's actually trapped down with you. So the whole piece becomes even a greater piece, or you're at a bigger piece in your own mind. It's I think for me, yeah, look, it is that weightlessness and that whole sense of suspended animation, and you can really enjoy the whole body experience. It's like, for example, going into a flotation tank, and you can feel both the currents and also the feel of the water. And whilst there's not that sound, but as I said, it's the piece, the greater the depth, the bigger the piece.